Okay. Welcome once again to BossVersity. It's time to boss up. Now, today we're going to speak about a topic that actually affects all of us across all areas. Whether you're in employment, whether you run your own business, whether you're an entrepreneur, there is one main killer, and the killer is called fear. Fear is the greatest killer of everything. Now, we sit there, we think about an idea, great idea. We might even have one or two tools to actually get started on it, but then we get knocked back by this thing called fear. Now, how do we overcome this fear? Now, I've been looking at it, how I dealt with it. Now, fear is something that everybody faces. You don't have to be ashamed that you are fearful, because fear is something that also guides you sometimes or helps you to stay cautious. So don't think that just because you are fearful or you are scared to take a step that you are not good enough. No, you are. You are actually a right living being, because this is part of human brain. But one thing that we need to do is we need to get rid of this fear. And how do we do that? Me, myself, I encountered that in many areas of my life, in my business life, in my entrepreneurial life. I've faced it everywhere in my life. But how did I overcome it? I strategically went with the fear, because you need the fear in order to be cautious, like I'm saying. So what you do is you plan yourself step by step. First, you sit yourself down. Okay, I have a job, but for me to do this business, I will need to free myself to have more time. How do I go on about it? I've got all of these bills. How would I be paying that at the end of the month? Now, this is exactly why most people don't even take action, because of the safety. And that safety is what actually becomes fearful if they were to leave the safety net. But you're gonna have to do it sometimes, because with a safety net, you have got no choice than actually to stay back and do what you have to do to survive. But as an entrepreneur, you have to overcome this fear. You have to look at it in a way that, yes, I'm gonna have to pay these bills. Fine, let me stay in this job, maybe save for 3 months, maybe save for 4 months. My bills will be covered. Once I have that, then I will go all out and start doing what I've set out to do. So fear is something, yes, to guide you, but it can also be a very useful tool, because when you actually work with fear, what you do then is you actually can plan. You can plan parallel, yes, to actually achieve your goal. Now, there are people in jobs right now who are running a business parallel, because they, again, we're looking at what they ought to lose or what they cannot afford to do. Yes, that's why they are trying to run it parallel. So if you are that kind of person, listen, put in those 2 extra hours, those 3 extra hours a day. Okay, set yourself up. All right, I wake up usually at 8 o'clock and have to be at work at 9 o'clock, and I finish at 6. Fine. What is wrong with you starting your business before the time that you give, okay, for your paycheck? What is wrong with you starting your business after the time you give for a paycheck? Now, this is exactly where you start working parallel, okay, to your safety net. All right. And I think that actually works. If you're a single person, it's easier to leave a job and actually go out there and make it happen. But obviously, we've got people with families, with responsibilities, and that is where the fear is actually greater. So what you're going to have to do is you have to burn the light lamp. You're going to have to give yourself that extra time. No sleep, no TV, all of these distractions, take it all away and just go full time for it. And once you see that your side hustle, your side business is actually picking up, it might not be giving you the same returns you're getting in your job from your safety net, but it's picking up that it can actually cover some bills. This is when you must actually give more time. This is when you have to leave what you're doing. I say have to, because for me, I believe, when there is an idea that comes to you, it's not your idea, it's divinely that it comes to you. So you're going to have to take action. And taking action sometimes means being drastic with yourself. That means being brutal with yourself. And yes, not knowing where the next bill is going to be paid from and stuff like that is scary. But trust me, in this life, Everything literally gets catered for if you only give yourself into the right energy, into the right space, into the right doing of your business. I would tell you what I did. What I did first, I was lucky that I had some savings that I could fall back on, but I was able to leave my job, okay, and go into this full time. All right. And trust me, it was a do or die situation. And when it becomes a do or die situation, you've got no choice than to succeed. Usually us humans, we function. I find myself functioning better under stress, under extreme stress, when I know that I'm gonna have to do this. I'm gonna have to succeed. I have to find a way to succeed. This is when you start thinking out of the box. This is when you can actually get the best out of yourself. But most of the time, we get so comfortable thinking, oh, I earn enough. Yeah, I make 5,000. That's above average earnings. So yeah, why should I go and stress myself to ABC? But guess what? The scariest thing is having an idea and not acting upon it. And then years later, you see someone doing exactly the idea that you had. So what was the difference between you and that person? The difference is that that person took action. That person did not think of the safety net. That person might have had the extra change to have gone for it. But you know, having the extra change never mean nothing, because if your idea is good enough, there is always investors who are willing and ready to work with you. So you have to be able to actually tell yourself, you know what, I'm going to go and do it. Speak to the right people, share your idea with the right people, and see if there is any support that can come in, because that sometimes can also be what an accelerator. Yes, once you've spoken to somebody who's actually interested in maybe investing or maybe going the way with you, maybe partnering up with you, you know, but most of us, we don't even think that far. The moment we think, oh, I'm going to have to leave my job. Oh, I'm going to need this amount to start this business. Oh, I'm going to have this. You don't need none of that. All that you need is the idea and the willingness to see that idea through. Boss up, and I see you on the next program.